Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, we're really glad you're here today.
We are really excited to have you here today for several reasons. The first of which is today we're going to talk about how to move past a stuckness or blockness that you might have. Here, let's coin those words today. Right at the top of the call. If you are experiencing analysis paralysis, if you are just not moving forward because you don't have your website set up yet, I'm going to show you a way to get your website set up so that it is done and complete and ready to go. Now, did I say perfect? I did not, because it's never going to be that. It's going to be what you need it to be as you go. And we're going to talk about how we can get to a perfectly great starting point with your website so that you have a place to move forward from. So often we find ourselves stuck because we think about the mountain of things that we'd like to have or do, and we are basically a deer in the headlights. We don't move forward because, my gosh, we would have to do everything in order to get those things done. So we are going to talk about today how to move quickly into completion or to a great starting point with your website. And the promise is that I'm going to show you how to do it in 20 minutes or less. So that's my challenge today. Tell me what you are working on this week in the chat. Say hello. Let us know where you're coming in from, who you help, what you do. And we also have another exciting reason that we are thrilled to be here with you today. We have a feature that we are going to be sharing with you. If you are building a website, if you are looking to create something really custom on your pages, you're going to be really excited for what we have put together to share with you today. So yeah, again, go ahead, head over into the chat. Welcome. We're excited to have you here today. We're live every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time here on Zoom and in our Facebook group. Greg and I are going to pop out a video for just a second to get through our slides so we can do our housekeeping for this week. And then we are going to get into, again, that exciting announcement as well as the challenge to set up your website in 20 minutes. So today, we will begin with sharing some new interactive page sections that you are now able to very easily integrate into your designs. We're going to talk about our checklist that I've put together for you. If you are on our list, you have received this checklist in your email prior to the call. We'll be sharing it in the chat here shortly as well. And then we'll talk about how we can get that website set up in 20 minutes. Now, from there, we have live help and Q&A. We have several people signed up for live work reviews today, so we've got a lot to get into. Excited to have you here today. If you would like to join us on a future call, if you're watching this from YouTube in the future or currently on Facebook, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours to join us on a future live call. If you would like to work together live on a call like this one, attractwell.com/work review is where you can go to set aside time for us to work together on an upcoming call like this one. And if you would like for someone to just do some of this work for you, you can go to attractwell.com/concierge to learn more about our team and how they can help you get more things done, like gorgeous site designs, for example, quickly and easily for you. All right, so I'm going to hop out of the share here and toss it over to Greg, who is going to show us an exciting new update in the AttractWell system for those of you who are embarking upon page design.
Yes, thanks, Ashley. Yes, as we've just promised, I'm going to show you some of the new updates here to the page editor. And if you've been with us for the last several weeks, you've seen we've been making a series of improvements in that area to make the web design and page building process easier. Our latest change is when you're actually adding a page. So I'm just going to add a page and grab one of these templates here. When you're adding a section to a page, so pages generally are made up of sections. You know, you can see them with this little bar and you can kind of hover and see the individual sections that are in between them. Well, when you're adding a section, previously, while this has recently become reorganized, if you haven't caught up with this lately, this is a new way to find a section that really fits your needs a lot more quickly than browsing through a big list. So now you can see all the different sections organized by the type on the side. And the change today, there's actually a couple of them. The first one I'll touch on is there's two more sections for a bio and about me. So I can pop that in there and then you can edit these however you'd like. There's another one that's a little bit smaller. These work really well on mobile phones and on desktop devices. But the more exciting changes are under this new interactive section here. Actually, this has been here for a couple of weeks, but and we had accordion but carousel is also new. So I'm going to show you these here, first of all. So an accordion, first, if you're not familiar with that, let me just show you what this looks like in a preview. I'm sure you've all seen this at one point or another. This is where you can click the header section. And there's like this expand collapse thing that happens when you when you click on the header. So now you can add and edit those right within the page editor without having to do anything fancy or write any code or any of that. Because for those of you who have implemented in the past, there was a way to do it. It was very hard. So now there's this nice editor here. You can change the header text to be whatever you want to. You've got full control over the content, including, images importing from Canva, videos, whatever, bold fonts, all that, can go in the content and go down here. And of course you can reorder these, delete them with the little X, add a new section if you want to, all that. And when you hit done, of course, it updates it. And, you can even change which headers are open. Like if I would want this one to be open first, it'll do that. But you can also style it as well. So you can change default fonts and sizes, so if you want your header bigger or something, I'll find some, and change the color. So you don't want, this isn't your brand color. You want to have white or whatever, and you want a different font color, that can all be done. And you can customize, of course, the contents as well. And then that also shows up here nice and easy. And it works and behaves as you would expect. And when you actually go view it on your website. So it's a nice way to make it easier to get what you want done with an accordion. The other control, and this is this is new as of yesterday. The other new control we have here is a carousel. If you're not familiar with the carousels, let me open this up. These are those side scrolling things that usually have the little dots on them, though not always. Great for testimonials, that kind of thing where you want to pack a lot of information in there and maybe add a little visual interest to your site. But now you can easily add and edit them right within the page editor without having to do any custom coding or any of that, any of the hard work that came with doing that before. So when you add a carousel, the first thing you'll see is you get to, by default, you can choose an image. Like if I click on the image in here, but let's just click this random thing. And so now there's an image there. You can optionally link it and open it in a new tab if you want to. Much like the accordion, you can also drag to reorder these things or delete them, add a new slide, whatever you want to do. The other cool thing is, let's say I'm going to add a fourth slide here and I'm going to say custom content. So you can also create custom content in the slide. It can have links in it, pictures, whatever you want to do. And that's what it does, like, okay, well, if you want this word linked, you could do that. So there's all sorts of cool things you can do with the custom slides. Of course, you're limited to whatever space is available. Over here on the side or the style tab, there's some settings here. You can have it automatically change slides every so many seconds or not. You can shrink, if you have slide images, you can fill them with the carousel depending on what your purpose is, or make sure that the entire thing fits. And you can show the dots above or below the carousel. So and if you want, you can even change the color of the dots if you want to do something different. You could have whatever your brand color is maybe, or just hide them entirely, and as well as change the height of the carousel. So that's a easy, great way to get a carousel on your site. Oops, wrong button. I was going to preview that. And this one is set up, I think, to auto rotate after 5 seconds. So if I sit here, it's going to go to the next slide here in a little bit. And of course, replace it with whatever images you want to, make them clickable. Totally up to you. But so yeah, so those are 2 new additions. We hope you find them very useful. And if you have run into anything or have any questions, whatever, certainly reach out. Or if you have any ideas for any other types of widgets you'd like, we'd love to hear your thoughts on those too. So thanks. Back to you, Ashley.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. I'm going to paste into our chat here, just in case you guys don't have it, our checklist for today. And this is just so we know, full disclosure, we are working from the perspective of I am brand new. All right. I'm brand new to AttractWell. I need to have something set up that is mine. I need a starting point from which to work. So that's what we're doing. We're in an AttractWell account that has had nothing done. In fact, if we go and view the site here for this AttractWell account, there's not going to be anything to see, right? This is the My Story and About, or sorry, My Story and Photo that I'll show you how to modify here in a moment. This is your default homepage when you get started. And I'm going to show you how you can make use of this built-in feature along with some other simple steps to get yourself off and running in 20 minutes. So to our checklist, which I've popped into the chat here. There we go. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is go to the My Story and photo page. This is where we're going to add our photo or company logo. If you are a personal brand, and this is going to be true for a great deal of us as coaches, we're going to want to use a great picture of us. However, if you don't have the photo that you want of you, or you prefer to use a company logo, you could certainly do that here as well. And then we're going to have a bio. And specifically, we're going to put a little bit of information here about who we are, who we help, and maybe what we currently offer, and maybe a little mention of what's to come. And then we're going to end this section with a call to action to get in touch. Because as you see, built in, send message right here is a feature that's already built in. So when you click this, it's actually going to populate your photo, your contact information, and give them an opportunity to reach out to you. So let's start. First, I'm going to go over here to My Story and Photo, and if you actually click right here, it'll take you there as well. A quick tip, if you're doing this in a browser, as I am, hold down the Command or Control key when you click this, and it won't take you away from here. All right, so in my photo, I'm going to add a square version of my logo. And if we have time, I may even show you how I did this. So this will be, this will just be, hi, I'm Jane, or it could be welcome or something to that effect. I am going to paste in the bio that I've already come up with here, just so you know. I used Write with AI, and the prompt that I gave it was write the copy for the about page for my business. I'm a certified life coach who helps motivated female professionals break through plateaus in their business or career so they can achieve the level of impact and income they've dreamed of. I currently work with clients on a one-on-one basis and have several courses and programs launching soon, and include a call to action to click the button below to get in touch. Write in a confident, casual, and friendly tone. So I took that. Let me actually just copy this because I have this in a separate screen that you can't see. I put that in here, I hit write, and I liked what it came up with, so I have stuck to using that. So don't forget that you can use Write with AI to create something like this. So here, this text doesn't look awesome. I am going to modify this a bit. I'm going to change this maybe to 18-point font. I'm going to add this title actually up here, welcome to your breakthrough coaching. And I'm going to move this up. All right, so here we go. These are nice paragraph sizes, not too chunky. There's just enough information in each, and we've got a call to action at the end. All right, so I'm going to save these changes, and then we're going to go over and take a quick look, and you can actually see that we now have a homepage for our site. Voila, it's done. Whatever your AttractWell web address is, you got a homepage. We're good to go. All right, so that is our first step. Now, the next thing that you may want to do is create a custom footer, or use the Customize My Site feature to modify the built-in footer for your site. So if you go and you look here down at the bottom, right, there's nothing here. And that's because we don't have anything down here in our social media links. So I'm just going to go in and put something in, and I'm not sure that the pound is going to do anything here. Forgive me if it doesn't. Just want to test this real quick because I don't have links to paste here, but I will, yeah, so this is going to be, it's going to need to be a website. So I'm just going to paste these in. You, of course, are going to want to put in your usernames, your addresses, etc. for your, oh my goodness, it's not going to let me do it. Okay. We're just going to do American Airlines today. How about that?
If that doesn't work, it might be looking for the HTTP in front.
Oh yeah? Okay, let's just, okay. And again, we're stalling here because this is more me than it is the actual process. You will hopefully have real URLs to send people to. Here we go. So use the HTTP and you should be good to go. All right, so then when we come back over here, we take a look. You'll see that we have a built-in footer, and actually for some, it's not actually showing up here. Anyway, but what you want to do is get your social media sites set up here. But the better option, in my view, is to actually go over here and grab this template that is already done for you. I'm a fan of this one. You could certainly use it yourself. I'm going to grant permission and claim this bundle and go edit this page footer. All right, so this is the template. I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to actually bring this. I have a brand palette pulled up in Canva that I have in a separate window on my desktop. So I'm actually going to go and grab a color, a background color from that. I'm going to use just a nice dark color. I'm not going to use a background image, so I'm going to go none here. There we go. You're going to want to swap this out with your own logo. And I believe, let me go see really quick here in Canva if I don't currently have a transparent background version of this particular logo. So I'm going to change that real quick. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to give it a dark color background. And then I'm going to change these colors to white, just so that they pop on that dark background. I'm going to save just that image with a transparent background, and I'm going to swap that out with the one on the template here. All right, so that's this one. Let me go find that in my downloads. There it is. There we go. Now, you'll notice in this resource bundle, we do have icons here that you can use. This is a quick thing that you can modify. Here we go. You can claim this bundle, and I'm going to turn all of these into the color that matches my brand palette. So I'm actually going to use maybe just these. And of course, this depends on, whether or not you have all of these. If you have all of these, then this will be great for you. Okay, so I'm going to download all of these to transparent background. And then you're just going to go in and make those modifications here, right? So you're just going to set up this custom footer. Now, again, this is optional here for you. You do not have to create a custom footer, but it is definitely something that I recommend. All right, so that one is loaded. There we go. And then we can just go in and replace these with each of the ones that we have created, and just make sure that as you're modifying them, that you're going in and actually adding your Facebook URL, your Instagram, etc. And if you don't plan to use some of these, you could certainly, find them individually, delete them. Maybe I don't use Vimeo or Pinterest. You can delete those. I don't use X. I delete that one, right? So we could certainly do that here as well. All right, so you get the gist. This is how we set this up. Once you are done editing, modifying this to your liking, coming back over here, we want to actually go back to customize my site and attach that custom footer as our footer. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. That's going to be right over here. And there's page footer right there, save changes. And again, we didn't do the complete modification of that particular footer. It doesn't take very long. We can go back and do it here in just a second, but you can see that that footer now shows up here at the bottom of that page. Now, the next thing that we want to do is make sure that we have a 404 page set up for our site. Now, the reason why you want to do this and you want to do this early is because it's just it's basic Navigation 101 for your website. If somebody types a link in incorrectly or you forget to update a link that lives in a certain place, you want somebody to be able to have a great experience when they're on your website. They're able to go where they need to go. And so you want to have a 404 in place for this. And it's really simple. You're going to use this template that I've created for you. You're going to claim it. It's just a page. And there is a Canva template for this, but you really don't need it. It's actually quite simple because this image right here came from Canva. So what we'll do here, and you really don't need to do anything else to this page. This is going to show up in your default button color. This has my website, so it's going to go to your homepage, so you don't have to do anything with it. All we need to do, if you choose, is to maybe change this image if you would like. So we could add a design from Canva. Because it's square, I'm going to type in logo because that's a square default in Canva. And then when you get over here, you can add whatever you like. This can be your brand logo if you want. I actually found, I think, that ostrich in here, head in the sand. There you go, right? So here's this guy. You could choose to use it, which I just thought was goofy, right? Oh, here's the one. This is literally the one that I use. So if you wanted to use this one and change it to your brand palette, you certainly could if you choose. And then you would just send it to AttractWell once it's done. But honestly, as it stands, the 404 page like this is a perfectly serviceable thing to have. What you're going to want to do next after you have made any modifications, if you wish, it's going to go back to customize my site. And we are going to refresh here real quick. We're going to attach that 404 page. So now our site will not have broken navigation. Folks will be able to go back to the home page quickly and easily. All right, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is, again, on Customize My Site, we're going to add our logo or use text if you don't have a logo yet. And we're going to add a favicon. All right, so let's go back here to Customize My Site. Now, what we can do, again, if we don't have a logo yet, this is going to be called Your Breakthrough Coaching. And if I save this, you'll actually see it begins with my name because that's the name on the account. But if I refresh, this is where you can change that, right? Your Breakthrough Coaching. So if this is your business name, for instance, but maybe I actually have a logo image that I would like to use. So I'm going to go grab it. And that is one that I already have on my device. And it's this one. And by the way, we do have multiple trainings on creating these visual assets for your business that you can use on your website. So if you want to have a template for creating that, you certainly can, and it's free to use. So now you can see that that logo is right up here at the top. So we want to add our logo, and then we want to add our favicon. So if you look up here at the top, you see the Canvas C in blue, you see the AttractWell bullseye up here. We want your logo image to be up there. So we're going to use a favicon for that. It is a square image that should be very minimal in its size, in its design. So that's this one right here. I just used the visual element from the logo for that purpose. And I also chose a transparent background for this. All right, so I'm going to save that. And it doesn't necessarily always update right away. Like right now, it's still showing the bullseye. But I think if I were to refresh the browser, like shut it down and then turn it back up, then you would actually see that this logo would show up there at that point. So that's our site favicon. And then finally, we can customize our website menu. So as you can see here, all we have up at the top is Contact Me. Now, when you're first getting started with your website, you probably already have a presence elsewhere, right? So maybe you have a Facebook community, or maybe you have LinkedIn profiles, or maybe you have another website, or you have a Shopify store or something like that. This is where we're going to be connecting via our website menu. You do alternately have the ability to add those navigation links in your footer as well. And of course, we'll take the remainder of our 20 minutes after we're done with these steps to go through and talk a little bit about, kind of tweaking and fine tuning some of these pieces. The point here is really to show you that you can get everything done that really needs to get done really quickly. All right, so let's see. We're gonna have maybe our Shopify site and maybe our social media profile. So to do this, we're gonna actually go over here to menu. And let's see. So we don't have blog right now because we don't have the blog set up and we're not currently blogging. So I'm gonna delete this and I'm gonna add a menu header. And this is going to be connect on social, and that's our menu header. All right, so there we go, connect on social, and then maybe I'll add Facebook, and this is going to be, let me see. We could do any number of different things here, but what we'll want to do is, Greg, I want to make this a link to another place. Like I want to drop down. Here we go. All right, so this would be Facebook, right? And then here's our URL, and this would be facebook.com/ whatever your, well, actually, no. Greg, I don't do this often. What's the best way to do this? If I wanted to have a connect on
Oh, you
social
wanted to be a pull
menu.
down in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget, did you click on the add item to this menu link underneath? I wasn't paying attention there.
Yep, add item
So
to
you have
this
to-
menu.
Yeah, okay, okay, cool. Yep, and then from here, you should be able to pick the website link and then put in your Facebook from that drop down.
There we go. Pick website link. There we go. So then I'll call this one Facebook. This one will be facebook.com. Done. Right. So then we can add more. Maybe this is, again, website page. Website link. This one would be Instagram, right? All right, and then maybe you have an existing Shopify store, you haven't brought it over to AttractWell yet or something to that effect. We will call this, this is just a menu header, and this will be called shop, and then we would put in our Shopify store, right? So I'll save this, and now we're going from contact me to contact me, right? And then we also have connect on social. There you go. Or shop, and that would take them, it's a link they can click and go wherever else they might need to go. And guys, that is it. That is how you go about getting this done quickly. Now we can for sure go back and recover anything that I sped through because this was fast, admittedly. So let me get into the questions here, into the Q&A, and then we can get into this. Robert says, if you delete the social media icons, how do you add them back at a later date? Would it be just using what was saved in Canva? So yeah, let's go take a look at that because that's really the one thing that I didn't complete here today. So what we did here, let me find it. It's going to be in my pages. There we go. There's our footer. Okay, so these are actually all, these are inline images. So you could just add a new one. So if you go and look at the size, they're 50 pixels wide and they're obviously square images. So maybe I've decided that I want to add another one. Let me go ahead and just swap out for the ones that I've already got here. So here's our social circle icons. There's our Instagram one. Just remember as you're using this template that you do need to change the URLs. Now, obviously, when this template was created, Twitter was still called Twitter and had a bird, and that has obviously changed. So let's just say, for instance, that we wanted to create a new one with like the X logo, which very likely exists in Canva. For some reason, my browser is being very special today, and it just really is taking a very long time for me to upload this image. So I'm going to actually come over here and let's just go create a new one. in Canva using the template that I've provided for you. So we have all of these here. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to delete that, and then elements, I'm going to go find X logo. And then you find the one that you like the best. And I don't think that any of these are actually the actual one, to be fair. So you could just go ahead and stick with the bird. I don't know that this is the best example to go off of, but let's just say, for instance, just to answer your question, you decided to start adding your content to Snapchat. You got active on Snapchat and you wanted to add that. These are all inline images. So all you have to do is just put your cursor next to where you want it to go. You want to insert an image and then just go find that image. And so here's your Snapchat logo. We're going to upload that, and don't worry, automatically it's going to be huge. But once it's uploaded, you're going to, not alternative text, we're going to change the size to 50 pixels like the others. And then we're also going to want to make sure that it is in line with the others. That's this one right here under display. And then you can easily add those additional ones there as needed. So that is what that looks like. Let me see what else we have here in the questions. And I will show you in just a moment as well how you can go in and adjust your brand fonts and brand colors. That's a really great shortcut to help you with your actual design efforts. What I'm suggesting is that you do all these things that I'm sharing with you right now so that you have a starting point, and then you move on from there and start actually designing the pages or hiring our team to design pages for you. Your brand font absolutely can be uploaded into AttractWell, and we do have help articles on how to do so. The copyright information. So this stuff, and I think what we're talking about here, I'll go back and show you here, Melody. Right here, obviously you're going to want to pursue your own legal, advisement and all of that. But this is where you're going to put things like your privacy policy, terms of use, refund policy, et cetera. And you're going to link those here. Now, those pages, if you want to create them on your site, you can actually go to add a page and you can look for legal. And here is a great template for you to start from for like terms and conditions. You will, of course, want to make sure that you are modifying this so that it reflects what needs to be true for your business. And then this then becomes the link that you're going to add down in the bottom of that page and that footer. All right, let's see what else. I'm editing our website. After I paste the content, it changes to uppercase, and I can't edit it in sentence case unless I retype it. Aside from that, is there any option? Because sometimes the font can't. Okay, I think I understand, what you're experiencing, and what probably is happening there is that well, two things. Let me just demonstrate what is probably happening here. So if we go to, we'll just go to create a page, and this would happen really anywhere that the editor exists. So we have an existing design here. Now, this existing design has its own fonts, it has its own code and things like that, right? So you can see here, this one has a font, but if we also look here, under paragraph, maybe this one is normal, but it could be in heading text. And depending on how you have your default fonts set up, your heading text may be, if your paragraph setting is heading right here, this is why it's all uppercase, right? So if we change this back to normal, you can see that it's in sentence case. And the way that you modify that is going to be over here. We go to your dashboard. That's going to be under colors and fonts. And this is where you can actually go and add your brand colors. And it's just a matter of clicking. You can show, you can type in your brand colors. And then, of course, your fonts here. And this is where you decide whether or not a headline font, for instance, is uppercase by default. If you don't want it to be automatically uppercase, then you can uncheck this, and then it will work the way that you want it to if you want to modify the case of that. Now, The other thing that I want to point out is that if you are, let's say, for instance, using a template like this one and you like the formatting, then what you can do is select the text that you want to replace. And then, of course, copy the text that you plan to use. So I'm going to copy, oops, I'm going to copy some that I have in another screen. And then you're going to use this feature right here under more text called paste plain text. And so if you paste it in there, then you actually have, and I did not do that correctly this time, but you actually have the ability to paste plain text into the space here. Here, try that again. Oh, for whatever reason, my code is just bonkers today. But paste plain text is really there to allow you to retain the sort of background settings that have the font looking the way that it does, and then you can take whatever you have to say and pop it in there. But yeah, I think what you're probably dealing with is maybe you've got like a heading as the paragraph setting, and then that is causing things to be uppercase. Let's see. Came in late. Sorry, did you have a connection to Canva from AttractWell? How can I connect and get my own branding that I have in Canva? So we don't import from Canva your brand kit and things like that. However, if you are looking to replace an image on a page, such as right here, you can click this, replace, and then click this Canva button. And so then here, because I know this is square, I'm going to go to a logo preset. And this is where you can actually go and design something entirely new and send it to AttractWell, or you could go to your existing projects. And so this would be how you would go about doing this, right? So you would go and find whatever the thing is. Maybe it's this one. We'll send that to AttractWell. And then that's how you make that connection. Now, if you are there you go. So that's how you would actually connect. So the Canva button will allow you to import a design that you have, so long as you don't need it with a transparent background. That is not a function of Canva where it like connects to other platforms like ours. But the other thing that you can do here as well is to have your Canva brand kit open in a separate window, for instance, and then you can actually use that to grab colors, right? So here are some colors that I already have in my brand palette. So you can actually grab from there, and that's in your fonts and colors. You set those up right here. You can actually see that they are here. But what I like to do is in a separate window, have my Canva brand kit open, and then I can go through on this page and grab each of those colors so that they're imported. Your fonts here, if you, these are all, the system fonts are Google fonts. Those are free, like fonts that you can use without a license. But if you have fonts that you have purchased, custom fonts that you wish to use, you can just follow add fonts here. And there is a way to add those, and that's right down here. And we do have a support article on how you add those additional fonts to your system. Also curious about email automation. This is also from Leica. Once they register and submit their information on the website, we want to send an email to them automatically with a freebie link that can be downloaded. Yeah, so this is actually what you're describing is just a really simple funnel, Leica. So essentially, when you are gathering someone's information, when they register, they're doing so on a landing page or on a page that has a lead form attached to it. So let's just say, for instance, we're going to use like a simple landing page. And so if we create a simple landing page, I'll use this one as a template here. You'll put whatever copy and images that you would like to have here for the design of the page. But then in the settings, you're going to, first you want to make sure you tag them so that you know who these people are. They came in for this lead magnet, etc. And then you're going to want to add a campaign. Now, the campaign is that message that you're sending out automatically, including here. This is where we would actually create a campaign that gives away the freebie, right? So we would create a new campaign, and this is a download the guide. And then in the first message, we'll say whatever it is that we want to say to them and give them a link to the guide. So, so here's your guide. And then we would add the guide here. So we would add a file, right? So we'd upload our file, just pretend that that's it. And then we would say, here's your guide. Right? And anything else you would want to say in that message. So once you have this campaign created, then you would actually be able to come over here to settings, pull that campaign down from your list here, and there it is. And so now when anybody registers on this page, they'll receive that email and any others that you've added to the sequence, including the guide. That file can be a spreadsheet. So if it is able to be uploaded to our system, if it doesn't go beyond the maximum size capacity for adding to our system and sending, so that can be a spreadsheet. It can be a PDF. That's the most popular way to do this. But yeah, absolutely. It could be an audio file, several different options. The freebie can be on the home page to begin with. However, so the one we were just talking about, so this sort of get it done version, which is this get it done version, we're not offering a freebie here. So what you would want to do is actually create your freebie offer on a landing page, and then you could add that here in your menu. Right? Even before you have a proper homepage that you've set up for yourself, you can add the freebie up here. You could even link to the freebie page here in your copy as well. And yeah, you can, like on the homepage of your website, absolutely have the freebie front and center if you want to. Peggy says, I struggle with making a page look good on all devices. Changing padding and columns makes me crazy. I wind up making different sections for the same text, and it's probably not necessary. Would you look at this page for me, please? Yes, I will take a quick look at that. Okay, let's see. I mean, it's looking great on the, looks fine on the desktop for me. Let me go and hop into your account. We can take a quick look at this together. And for everyone who's watching, if you don't know, we actually do have an in-depth training on mobile responsiveness. So actually working on page design for the purpose of mobile. So, so there is more in-depth training for this that covers more than what I will be able to cover in this brief amount of time that we have for this today. All right, Peggy, let's get in here and look at our pages. And this is holiday. Oh gosh, I'm not sure which one it is. Let me just find you real quick and bring you out to chat here. Let me see. Okay, hi Peggy. Which of these pages are we looking at?
It's the top on your left, I guess. The happy, healthy holiday. That one. Yep.
Okay, great.
It's that one.
Okay. Okay, so we have, you mentioned being concerned about the tablet version.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so it's that one where with the tan background under important links. You see
This
how
one?
there's like one, yep, there's one in the middle, there's one on the more to the left, then
Got you.
even the section underneath, it was yeah.
Okay, so is that this? So I think I see. It's this one, right?
That one right there, yep, that we're looking at right
Okay,
now.
awesome. And where are you including mobile information for important for this? It looks like that's not.
So I guess it's the section right underneath that. So I created that first section for everything but mobile, because mobile it was all over the place.
Got
And
you.
then yeah, and the following one is for mobile, and it's
I think I see
okay,
what's
but if I don't
happening
have to,
here. Do you see when I'm hovering over these, just all of the excess space that's over here to the left?
Mhm,
And
I
it's
do.
not quite the same. So this would be an instance where if we've kind of played around and tweaked around to the point where we are pulling our hair out. What I recommend doing is just heading back to a 2-column section and doing a paste plain text, reformat, and you're basically just starting over with something clean without any kind of crazy modifications. So in each of these cases, we would want to obviously make that hyperlink, and then so you can make those modifications there. So you would do this for both.
Okay, yes.
Copy that background color that you have it from the other sections. Oh, this is an odd thing that's happening in Safari today, Greg. My picker isn't showing up. This was happening earlier too. Safari is just always going to do something special. I really should just be using Chrome, honestly. Anyway, but you know how to change the background color there.
Yes.
But then when we look at the tablet view of this, you'll see that actually here, let me go ahead and just copy this other bit here so that you can see how that will behave in this section here. Yeah, so you can actually see that
Very
these,
nice.
yeah,
Mhm.
it looks just a little bit neater there. So I would just use, you know, when in doubt, just go back to like, what is it that I want to do? I want 2 columns. Okay, I'm going to just start over with a clean 2 columns. I'm going to paste plain text, and you probably saw that I did that without using this here. There's a keyboard shortcut for that, and we have a tech tips and tricks, say that 5 times fast, training that that goes through all of those keyboard shortcuts as well. But yeah, that would be my recommendation there. It's really, honestly, Peggy, it's not that bad, all told.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. Thanks
Thank you,
for coming
Ashley.
out. All right, Heather asks, is there a way to send out a registration for an event that is a 3-part series? And when they register once, they get registered for all 3 dates and get the calendar link to save for all 3 dates? Yes. Now, there's a but here. The event that you create, if you are using the events feature in AttractWell, if that's your goal there is to use the events feature, you will want to make the event for, you know, the first event through the end in terms of the dates for all 3, and then specify in the copy for the event that this is 3 separate events taking place on date 1, date 2, and date 3. From there, you would create a campaign and make it a date-based campaign. So that way you're sending out the reminders, follow-up information, etc., on the correct dates. You would add that that date-based campaign to the registrants for that event. And then, of course, they would receive all of that information if they RSVP. The other way that you could go about doing this is bypassing the events feature in AttractWell entirely, creating a page or a landing page where you're offering this 3-part event. Again, the page would have all of the copy where you're talking about the dates, etc. And then when they register, you would apply that date-based campaign to them. And again, we do have more in-depth training on campaigns and making them date-based. That's one of my favorite things to like it's one of my favorite updates to our platform in the last handful of years, is that ability to apply something that will go out on specific dates and at times of the day, etc. So if you, for instance, are running a program where you're meeting X many times, you can set it all up, apply it to everybody, set it and forget it, and all that information goes out when it's supposed to. It's pretty great. All right, Leica, sorry, this is not related here, but it's about the invite of this training via email. I don't have Outlook, and it goes there whenever I wanted to add it to calendar. I'm using my Gmail account, not Apple. Hope there's another option. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Can I change the picture on the website template because I didn't use a blank page? Yeah, you can, any image that you see in a template on the AttractWell site, all you have to do is click the image and it will give you that option to replace it, delete it, hyperlink it, etc. Mary says, Janet asked a great question in the comments that I'm also curious about. Will you cover it, please? Can you please show us how to add a Calendly calendar to the schedule? So if you mean like you want to have a Calendly calendar embedded on a page on your website, we actually have a training for that we've already done on our YouTube channel. I don't know, Greg, if you're able to look that up. I think we talked, scheduling might be the keyword. But you are able to, whether it's Calendly, Acuity, any of your favorite scheduling platforms, if they have an add to website feature, you can add it to your AttractWell account. Awesome. Thank you for that. And I hope you check out that training. Selena says, I'm planning to host a workshop. I want to get folks registered. How do I do that in AttractWell and ideally send them the calendar link to their calendar? I use Calendly. So if you have a workshop and it is set for specific dates, all you need to do is have people register on your website. You could use events for this, or you could use pages for this. Okay, and the kicker is that you're going to create that date-based campaign I was talking about a few minutes ago. So you create the campaign so that on day 0, you tell them you're signed up. I'm so excited to work with you. And then the campaign starts delivering on a specific date. And so that's going to be your day 1 and so on, where you're going to say our first meeting is tomorrow. And then a week later, our next meeting is tomorrow, etc. And so that's how you would have that set up. Now, if you want them to be able to add those that information to their calendar, that is a completely different thing, and it's a completely different tool that you can use, and it is free, and it's not on AttractWell. ical.marudot.com. ical, oop, need an L here. ical like calendar. .marudot.com. If I could go back and do this again, Safari is just special today. Okay, ical.marudot.com. This is where you're going to go in and create a new event. You put in all of the details, etc. And ultimately, after you followed the instructions on this page, it gives you the opportunity to download a file, and that's a calendar file. You can take that calendar file, add it to the files section of your website, and then you can share that file just like you would share a PDF or anything else. And so that can be linked on pages, that could be sent via email, etc. So that is that's how I do it, and that's how we get it done. All right, thank you so much for your patience. By the way, Sonia and Ashley, I have you here for reviews. Sonia, let me bring you out to chat. Hi, how can we help you today? Had a lot of really great questions. Hi.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I don't really need help particularly right now. I'm just sort of like trying to fathom everything. I'm brand new and I've been like watching some of the videos, but just getting started.
Okay.
Oh, one question I did have. I was going to sign up and I was curious about the pipeline addition to signing up.
Mhm.
If you thought, like, if you could like give me some feedback on that and like what it does.
Oh, the pipeline igniter. Yeah. So that is
Yeah.
something that you can optionally add on when you get started. It's like $17. Essentially what the pipeline igniter is a very logical step-by-step process. And if any of you guys here have been through it, definitely leave your feedback in the chat here. Because I know a lot of folks have been through it. I created the pipeline igniter as a way for folks who have traditionally worked in more belly-to-belly circumstances, or who are brand new at a particular offering that they're creating. And so you're basically going through the process of understanding how to talk about who you are and what you do, how to better understand and speak to the ideal person that you want to attract into your business, and then ultimately how to leverage working, brick by brick, like how to go from one client to scale up to many conceptually in a way that's not overwhelming. So if you're newer to what you do, or you haven't offered something in the digital space before, that is something that I definitely recommend just to kind of get your bearings so that you can have a clear path ahead for what you'll do next. Because, you know, getting into this whole world of like creating virtual stuff and getting people to opt in and all of that, it can feel really overwhelming, but the whole purpose of that is to just connect the logical points that already make sense to us.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, does AttractWell also offer like digital marketing and stuff once you're set up?
So once you're set up, you can perform all kinds of digital marketing using us. We're more your platform. So if you wanted to run Facebook ads, for instance, then, you know, you could point that traffic to a landing page, right? And you can have Facebook pixels on your site, etc. If you wanted to use SEO for your marketing, then we have all of those features and things like that available, you know, on different pages, blog posts, etc., for you to optimize for SEO. So we don't offer marketing services per se, but you conduct your marketing through AttractWell. So your email marketing, right, for instance. And then of course, any other marketing strategy that you have, we're typically going to be where you're pointing the traffic to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And Ashley, thank you for your patience. Let me bring you out here to chat as well. How can we help you today?
Hi, thank you so much. I love working with you guys. Um, so I don't know if you've had a chance to look at my website. I'm primarily a blogger with a Young Living adjacent business with it. And I used to, back a long time ago, I was a very active blogger and had a large platform. And then I took a very long maternity leave, 8 years. She's 8 now. So I'm rebuilding all of my content on the Get Oiling platform. And my main marketing strategy is through SEO and Pinterest. And then once they're on the website, I want to point them to join my email, subscribe to my email list. So my main focus right now is just making sure I'm following all SEO best practices, and also just usability, design of my website if you see anything glaring, and also making sure they can navigate to join the email list.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's take a quick look.
So
Let's
SEO,
see.
I think, is my main focus right now, is just make sure I'm optimizing all SEO best practices.
Got you. Got
And I
you.
don't know if this call is the best way to
Oh,
look
you're
at
in the right
that.
place. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
So the absolute first number one thing that I would call out is that this is a text with image over top of it. And this is really your best opportunity for conversion onto an offer, is
Okay.
this above the fold section. And it's also going to be, for SEO, a critical place for you to introduce keywords in header font format. And that's going to be, so
Okay.
let's just say, let me go to your pages here. And I'll try to find a home page. Here we go. So having a section that, right, so this is an image with text over it. Google's not going to be able to,
Right.
or the search engines aren't going to be able to crawl that. So if you had something like this, where right here, if this is, sorry, paragraph settings, you're going to want to have this in heading 1 font. That this basically means in the code, it's going to be H1 or H2, heading 1 or heading 2.
Right.
You want to make sure that the keywords that you really want to be ranking for with your site generally include or actually delivered prominently on your site using that heading 1 or heading 2. So
Okay.
that's
That
going to
makes
be
sense.
number one. Top priority is going to be making sure that you, I mean, you could certainly have welcome, I'm glad you're here somewhere on this page, but the best opportunity is going to be up at the top. I help this type of person get, do, be, have this thing that they want, get my free thing. And then you have, you know,
Okay.
a maybe you have a form right there where folks can put in their name and email and get the thing that you're offering for your newsletter. So that's the first one. I love that your images are they're like you're following a formula here. They're all the same size. You're utilizing similar branding aspects. That's really great. Also good. Oh, and you've got that Pinterest. Look at that. Awesome. Very good. Okay. So I like how vibrant and sort of friendly the vibe is here. Take advantage of that by giving a compelling reason for somebody to stick around on your list up at the top of this page. We take a quick look at the blog here as well.
Yeah, and anything on the back end, like as far as coding for SEO as well. I don't to make sure I'm
Yeah, so
utilizing
that's
all
going to
of
be,
that.
yeah, so this is a missed opportunity right here. Sharing description, this is going to be for when you're actually sharing. So maybe on Facebook, right? Or if you're texting your address to someone, the photo shows up and then some kind of blurb here. I know that's not SEO, but it's a good best practice. But this search engine description, if your website comes up in search results, this is going to be that information that shows up underneath, right? So this isn't something that necessarily impacts SEO directly, but it's a meta description, and that's going to impact whether people click, which is huge.
Okay, and that's for page settings, not individual blog posts, correct?
So I'll show you what that looks like for blog posts, but yeah, this is for pages specifically. So this would be for this page. And maybe you have another page on your site where it's about something else. Just make sure that you are including a search engine description on those, and use your keywords in the description. And definitely make sure in your additional pages that, again, if any of the pages are about specific keywords, then make sure that those are showing up in the link path, right? So here, if you want Young Living to potentially be a keyword that you're using here, instead of using YL, you would actually type in Young Living there, and you would have Young Living favorites as the link path, just as an example, if that was a keyword you were aiming for. Now for your blog posts, all right, we'll use this one. Okay, so that's great that you're using Jump 2. And this is also good. You're using, yep, heading. This is good.
Okay.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so yeah, no, this is good. Now, what you want to do, obviously, make sure that your categories here reflect your keywords, which it looks like you have, which is great. The excerpt and the search engine meta description. So this is, again, just like I showed you a second ago, it's just going to show up underneath the title of your blog post in a search engine. And then in both of these instances, you're just going to want to make sure that you're utilizing your keywords. This is fine. The length of this, I think, is actually good. You don't want it to be too long. But definitely strategize on keywords with the introduction of keywords here. So you are using tooth powder here as a keyword, but maybe there are other keywords that you're kind of consistently aiming for. So DIY, recipe, etc. Those might be worth including in there. But yeah, no, you're definitely on the right path. Just make sure that throughout the site, you are always including the meta descriptions. Oh, another thing that you want to make sure that you're doing, in particular on your blog posts, but certainly anywhere on your site, use alternate text. Oh, good. You're doing it. Yeah. Because when people search terms online, images are one of the results that can come up. And so if you're targeting those keywords with the alternate text for your images, these things could be showing up in their search results that would lead them to that blog post on your website.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
and I do have another question.
Sure.
This is a different train of thought. What are the best practices for, so I have a lead magnet ebook. It's just a PDF or a ebook I created on Canva and turned it into a PDF. That's a free one. And then I did the same thing with a longer paid PDF ebook. But those I know are not the best practices. So what's the best way to create ebooks? Is there a program or?
Canva's great for this.
Okay.
Canva's
And so my
Canva
paid
it
ebook,
didn't used to be awesome, but Canva has gotten a lot better with something like that. The simplest way to do it is in a word processor. So like Pages on Mac, very easy to publish. You know, you could do this, I would assume, with Word as well, but Canva actually has great templates for it. I can't really speak to the ease of modifications with Canva. I think that it's more designy, right? So it kind of depends on what the format is you're looking for.
Which is fine for me because it's a heavy like recipe page type pages, so it works well. Like it works well for what I have. But I did, and this might not be a question for you, but the one that's paid, I also have it uploaded to Amazon, and it's not Amazon friendly. I don't know if you know anything.
I
Is there a
don't.
better way? No, okay. No, that's fine. That'll some research. I've got to figure out how to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Feel free, like, come back and tell us what you find out there. But no, I'm not very familiar with their publishing guidelines. But generally speaking, if it's not going to be something that you're putting onto Amazon, that's, you know, Canva can be fantastic, especially again if designiness is like your priority. I'm full of these made up words today. But I do know I've seen folks use Pages on Mac, for instance, to publish on Amazon. So I think word processing or word processor applications might be the better go-to there if you're trying to have that sort of interoperability.
Okay, awesome. I'm not Apple compatible, but that's okay.
The Microsoft Word would
I don't
probably
do
be
Apple.
just as well.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. That was helpful. Unless you see anything else glaring that I need to update or that would be beneficial for my site. This was great.
Nope, nothing glaring. Just address that above the fold on the home page for sure, and keep it up. You're doing so many of the right things.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good job. Yeah, sure thing. All right. Thank you guys for all of your incredible questions today. We had so many questions. I clocked it in 20 minutes, right? But then we've got, you know, a whole other hour almost of questions, which is great. So you guys, let us know. Do you want more specific design training? Are there specific things that you're wanting to achieve with design as you're creating more of those designed pages on your site? Let us know if there are things that you don't see that you'd like to see. Let us know. These accordions and carousels that you learned about today are only there because someone like you asked for them. So thank you guys for being amazing, being a part of this community, and giving us the opportunity to serve you and the great work that you do. We'll be back same time next week. Take care, everybody.